opportunity on him at guard, please, never again.
I want to play a snippet of something, Dylan.
Arvell said last week that he hasn't really worked much at the will. It's mainly Mike. How difficult would it be to get him ready to play that position if you needed to, or is that just not an option that's on the table at this point?
No, it's not an option. I mean, with Arvell, he's on a structured course to greatness. So he's climbing that step by step.
So that was Dylan that asked Jim Knowles that question, and we'll ask Dylan what he was getting at behind that question. I think I know. I haven't talked to him yet about it, but we talked about, Arvell for a while now, and this has been coming, and it's been coming at rapid fire pace. I did a short, I remember when he was about to overtake, it looked like maybe Gabe Powers for that number 4 linebacker spot. And honestly, really after one game, he overtook CJ Hicks as the number 3 linebacker in the rotation. James Laurinaitis said that he would absolutely be playing the guy who was playing the best. That's the guy that would be playing on the field. And I sat here with Dylan after it was pretty clear that Arvell took over for CJ Hicks. And Dylan and I both complimented James Laurinaitis for doing exactly what he said he was going to do, because a lot of times that stuff's easier said than done. You still got to look that dude in the face who's been in the program 3 years like a CJ Hicks and say, sorry, bud, this guy's playing better. He's now jumping you. It sucks, but it's what it is. This is big boy football. And in 3 games, we have not just seen Arvell Reese kind of outperform Sonny Styles. He's all the way outperformed Sonny Styles. Now, going by what James Laurinaitis said, assuming he agrees, why would Sonny Styles be entrenched as the starter at this point? It's only been 3 games. It's not like we're talking about some 13, 14 game starter. Styles had 54 snaps against Marshall. Cody Simon had 42. Arvell Reese had 29. I don't understand why Sonny would be the established starter at this point. Arvell has played better all 3 games. Sonny made 4 tackles, missed 3 tackles in that game. He doesn't trigger anywhere near as fast as Arvell or Cody. He doesn't lay the wood like Arvell. He's not as gap sound as Arvell. He doesn't fill the gap as fast as Arvell. He doesn't explode through tackles as fast as Arvell. I'm a huge believer in Sonny Styles. Don't get me wrong. Been a huge fan since high school. One of my all-time favorite recruits. I've sung his praises all off season, all last year. Up until this point, James Laurinaitis has done exactly what he said he was going to do. Why are the goalposts now moving? So that is a conversation, one of many that Dylan and I had last year. And as much as you all know, I own it when I'm wrong. Dude, we had this locked in before anybody that this dude was absolutely special. And while I love the fact that Sonny has had all this time to foster this development on the field, and he has, and he looked elite as hell, and he just keeps getting better. He looks like the general out there. You won a national championship last year, so you can't say mistakes were made, right? Everything was perfect, right? Yeah. You win it all. That's it. Everything was perfect. But this was always Arvell. He was always this dude. He just needed more reps, and he didn't get them. But this is no surprise at all. He has always been this amazing football player, and everybody got to see that. But I remember doing that episode and other ones previous to it where people were getting on me like crazy. I mean, calling me an idiot. Sonny would have a good game, and they would pop back in old shorts that I had done about Arvell. And how this didn't age well. I said, it'll age fine. Wait till you see him. And here he is now. So I want it all. Now, tell me now how stupid I am.
Well, and first of all, that was always about how high you or myself were on Arvell and not anything about Sonny Styles. Like we've always thought Sonny Styles is a great football player. We saw it on Saturday. Like he's a fantastic football player. Like this is probably a different conversation. This linebacker tandem is probably as good as we've seen at Ohio State in I don't know. Again, that's a conversation for a different day. Bottom line being is like everything we talked about then, and what we've always felt now is that it's more about Arvell and the player he's going to be. I said in the summer, I continue to say it. Obviously, I have no reason to be discouraged about it now that he's going to be an All-American this year. Like, it's always been about Arvell and not Sonny. So Sonny's a fantastic player. We saw it on Saturday. Like, Arvell can do literally everything you want to do with the linebacker on the field. Everything. You can ask him to do anything you want him to do, and he can do it at a high level. And that's all you can ask for of a football player. And so, again, saying nothing of Sonny, because Sonny was fantastic on Saturday. He's a fantastic football player, and those two guys together are as good as we've seen at Ohio State, and I don't know how long. But going back to last year was always about not, that Sonny's a bad football player. It's just that you've got a budding All-American waiting in the roster, just waiting in the wings just to give him an opportunity, and we're seeing it on Saturday. And goodness, was it a treat. I think that was probably everybody's number one takeaway coming from that football game was Arvell. Right. So, yeah. Right.
And now, in going into the game, that was what we thought too. Like, he is about to introduce himself to the world.
Yep.
And there could not have been a better way. I mean, Dylan, he was smacking around the guards, the 313-pound guards, throwing them out of the way, and then running like a safety after that. It was insane.
Watching him stay an offensive lineman up and just shed those guys and just go make a play or just run to the pursuit of the football.
Whoa.
I mean, my goodness, like, that's just brought – look, the conversation, I distinctly remember this, James Laurinaitis in camp talking about Arvell Reese, and he talked about him being a violent football player. It was violence at the point of attack and his ability to run. I'll be damned if you didn't see violence at the point of attack and his ability to run stand out time after time after time on Saturday for Arvell Reese. Like, just shedding offensive linemen like it was nothing, and his ability to run to the football, which we already knew he was an insane athlete at that size. My goodness, it was just on display time and time again. People have tried to say, like, well, it was one football game and it was a great football game against a great opponent as well. But, consistency is what wins the day, and what makes great football players. And I agree with that. But, like, then I kind of, to your point, that clip that you just ran to set this up was like, it's not. I've seen it consistent. I've seen it enough. I saw it last year. Like, I already knew this was coming. This is just validation here. Again, I thought in July that he was going to be an All-American this year. The last time I talked to you, we were talking about linebackers, and we were talking about Sonny, and I said, Sonny's a fantastic linebacker, but he's probably not the best linebacker on the team. And again, saying nothing of Sonny, because I think he's a fantastic football player with a Sunday future, but. Arvell's an All-American. He might be the best linebacker in football. Guess what?
Yeah.
That guy on the other side for Texas, everybody thought was the best linebacker in football. And he had, I'm not saying he had a bad game or anything like that, but he wasn't the best linebacker on the field on Saturday. So,
no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't. And, it just feels nice. I mean, it feels nice, man. It obviously feels nice to have that guy on the team we root for and love, but it feels nice to be vindicated because of all the shit we took last year for the same opinion.
Yeah.
Honestly, there were a lot of people who do what we do who gave me shit about that opinion passive aggressively when they were doing their takes about Sonny. So there you have it then. How about that? How about them apples? How you like them? I want to talk about another player. Go ahead. Jalen McLean, bro. Jalen McLean. He's the next that dude, man. He is the next that dude.